Go. Coming up on Podcast Unlocked, episode 404, a new Easter egg has been discovered in the Halo Infinite trailer from E3. We have it for you here. We'll show it to you. Take a listen for that. Plus, Blair Witch. Remember that game from the Xbox press conference? It's finally had some gameplay shown off, so we've got some stuff to talk about there. Plus, Doom 1, 2, and 3 re-released for Xbox One. But it didn't quite go according to plan. We'll have to talk about that as well. And a whole lot more coming up on Podcast Unlocked. What's happening, friends? Ryan McCaffrey with you. We've got a threesome of awesomeness. Which, you know, you can take that any way you want.
Bam!
Destin Legary on my right. You look like you're sitting very high in that chair.
Yeah, it's
so tall.
There,
Whoa,
okay. Too
Perfect.
far down. Too far down. Well, so, and Mark Medina to my left.
Hello.
So Destin told me, all right, you've got to start pulling your weight here and producing this thing. So I'm telling you what to do. I'm telling you to lower your chair.
There you go. There you go. That's a good note.
No, we're getting all moved into this awesome new studio, and yeah, you've got it so kindly set up for us to be as turnkey as possible. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those things where it's not difficult, but there are just 17 steps to go through. Mm-hmm. So you've been teaching me the steps. And I'm just trying to make sure I get everything right. Of course, I won't be here next week. I've got one more trip, so I'll forget it all, and then have to get taught again next week. But for now, we're here. Miranda Sanchez is at an event. I guess we can say what it was.
I don't know if we can.
Well, because it's the public
nobody's
thing.
tweeting about it, so I don't know.
Well, it ties in with a thing happening later this week that you may have already heard about. Let's put it that way, to be stupid and vague about it. But anyway, she can't be here, and poor Brandon Tyrell is trapped.
Jesus.
Yeah, what was that?
I bumped my phone on the mic stand.
Never do that again.
Jeez.
I think you just made the ears of our entire audience bleed. Just gush blood simultaneously.
Just leave my phone out of here.
Brandon Tyrell, as he handled all of our E3 scheduling, which is it's simultaneously way too much for one person, but can only be done by one person, because if there's more than one person involved, it just inevitably gets cluttered and disastrous. So he's planning Gamescom now. The next big show, as I smack my wedding ring on this metal table.
I'm the only good podcaster.
We need to pad this whole thing, I think is what we need to do. Just working out the kinks.
I removed the wrong mic. I should have taken out that one, and whatever.
So it's all a disaster. We're like 4 minutes into the show, and it's already gone completely
flawlessly.
Wrong. Yeah, I mean, if we were professionals, we would just start over. But we're
not doing that.
No, it's actually, we have a hard out in about 53 minutes. Yeah. So we're going to press on. We've got a lot to talk about this week. I want to add before we get rolling that our IGN first month of exclusive coverage on Control, that game is now T-minus 30 days away. It's actually less than 30 days away because today's July 30th.
Sure is.
So yeah, it's out in 28 days.
Mere days away.
4 weeks. I guess, it's 4 weeks from today.
Not even.
But yeah, I am looking forward to finally playing the entire game rather than just the chunks I've been able to sit down with at events. But yeah, we've had a ton of exclusive coverage on that all month long, from the first 13 minutes of the game to some side mission gameplay, because unlike Alan Wake or Quantum Break, they're actual just side missions that they're totally optional. They're all built in, so you can take a look at some of that. And then if I can remember, which is never a sure thing these days, my unfiltered for this month, because it's still July, was Sam Lake.
Okay, good.
What?
I was like, do you remember who
Do I remember? It's a fair question. But yeah, Sam Lake, the longtime writer and creative force at Remedy, he's all the great dialogue and just the whole tone of Max Payne and all their games really is primarily attributed to him. He's got a great team as well. But yeah, it was really fun to sit down with him. We shot it at E3 which
seems like a million years ago.
It does, doesn't it? man, that that happens every year. It sneaks up on us. It's like, oh man, E3 is only 6 weeks away, and then E3 is tomorrow, and then E3's gone for a month, and it's like, oh, it feels like it was a decade ago.
Yeah,
and then we do it all over again. But it's fun. It's fun stuff. So anyway, if I remember, I'm going to try to. I want to put the Sam Lake episode on the end of the audio file for this. I've gotten mostly positive feedback on doing that. I figure, I've got this unlocked platform. I might as well use it to Trojan horse my other content into people's ears.
Why would anybody be like, I don't like it?
Well, some people do kindly. They do subscribe to the unfiltered feed already, so they may have gotten it, and so they're
why not just stop watching when the unfiltered?
Well, I've heard some people listen in their cars, and it's more annoying to try and change to another podcast when you're on the move. But hey, we're doing it, so it's happening.
It's happening.
Asterisk, if I remember. Anyway.
What show are we on?
I don't know. Let's do
404, podcast not found.
Exactly, right? It's actually the show is
a perfect title.
Yeah, it is. It is living up to a 404 error code at this point. Let's do some news for you right after this. I'm pressing cool buttons in front of me that's making stuff happen on the video screen.
It makes the graphic come up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like operating a shuttle at NASA. Like they've put me in control of the.
That's all it took to get to the moon. These little 7 buttons here.
We did get one fan-made bumper. Remember I talked about it a few weeks ago? I know we got one, and I haven't.
I think there was a second one that came through while I was.
I got to check them out and get them in the thing. Thank you guys for sending those in. If you wanted to make a transition for us, just for fun, we'll feature it. We'll give you credit, and just sort of like a little thing to try on.
You're in charge of that, though. I'm not.
Yeah, I gotta settle that.
Unlocked@IGN.com is the place to send those, and then I can forward them Destin's way from there. But let's start with the most interesting, I think, item of the past week. There was an Easter egg hiding in the Halo Infinite E3 trailer. Mark, you said it feels like it's been forever since E3.
Right.
Well, it took forever in those terms, and a keen-eyed Halo fan has discovered what that Easter egg was buried in there.
Usually that stuff doesn't take so long to find.
Yeah, that 343 hit it really well. So it was a QR code hidden. There was some sort of red garbled stuff that pops up at one point. Yep. And this guy, he basically just used, I think, frame grabs and pieced it all together. And it turns out it pieces together into a QR code. Now, the credit goes to, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right. I'm going to give it a go. Xepyal, Xepyal. No other name, no other like birth certificate, driver's license name given on the Twitter account. I'm going with Xepyal
on that name.
But yeah, and also I want to give a quick tip of the hat to Unlocked listener Curtis Zinger, as well as usgamer.net, who Curtis flagged it for me on Twitter, and usgamer.net had first reported this that I could see.
We have some old IGN friends over at US Gamer,
we sure
right?
do. Yeah. We sure
Miss
do.
You guys.
We got friends everywhere. That's the nice part. Yeah. So anyway, if you scan that QR code, you're probably wondering what the heck happens. Well, it takes you to an audio file featuring a familiar voice. Let's play that audio file right now.
If Mark had his headphones on here.
This is part of me. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it is me.
Okay, Destin, you know who that is.
It's Cortana.
Yes, the inimitable Jen Taylor.
Yeah.
Voice actress, longtime voice of Cortana. So you guys both heard this. What do we think is going on there?
Well, obviously she's not gone. I think they're letting us know that, yes, she is going to be part of the Halo Infinite experience. I have two thoughts hearing this.
Yes.
So either the UNSC has created a new Cortana AI.
Oh, okay. I like that theory.
And they're going to give that to Master Chief, or they've given it to some of the other Spartans.
Yeah.
Alternatively, the Cortana in Halo 5, she didn't die. She's still like around, right?
But she's real messed up.
Yeah, she's like crazy. She's like way past rampancy and kind of going nuts.
Very far past her 7-year life expectancy as an AI.
So I'm wondering, because we hear physical footsteps, if she has somehow taken over a body of some sort and is able to actually physically walk around, or if those are just manifestations she's created using her AI abilities.
Boy, what do you think, Mark?
I don't know. It's I think the Easter egg's super cool. I like stuff like that. What are they called? Like ARGs or whatever, where it's like
like the
little,
I Love Bees thing.
Like these like hunts people find.
Yeah.
What the actual thing's about, who knows? Because who knows what even Halo Infinite is about?
Well, that's the fun part. We don't know yet.
Right, exactly. But I think the code is super cool. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, you kind of touched on it, like what Halo Infinite is about, and that I wonder, if this is sort of our first hint at I know I don't want to sort of dig up old skeletons here, but the Halo 5 story was horrible.
We did not enjoy the Halo 5 story that much.
It was real bad.
I go back once in a while and I try and play through that blue team mission, and like that mission's fairly fun because it's like Master Chief and the crew, but I don't feel like they did the justice that crew deserved.
Starring Master Chief, his friend Fred, and Linda and Kelly.
I don't want to be a negative constant voice about Halo 5. I obviously did not like Spartan Locke. Spartan Locke is
you and Locke, you and Locke have a long history of not liking each other.
So that happened. For me, the story of Halo 5 is a breakup story. Like, they've drifted apart as characters. She's gone obviously a different direction, and there's still like something there. He still cares about her. She still seems to care about him, but they're definitely broken up. Like, it's not happening again. And I think Infinite, with a new Cortana, could open up to like the new girlfriend sort of story.
I'll tell you.
I think it's all a metaphor for relationships.
Some people, I can see people in our audience that might potentially be chuckling at what you're talking about right now, but I think you could really be onto something with the idea of a new Cortana. I really like that theory, and if this one is somehow trying to reckon with what the old one did, maybe she's sort of learned about what happened to the old Cortana somehow from through just interfacing into the UNSC net, and I like that theory a lot.
She even says in one of the games, she's like, they'll make a new one. They'll give you a new one. So they've been foreshadowing that for a long time.
Right.
And to me, it's just a super intriguing story, this relationship. And like, I know I use real life dating, but like the relationship between Master Chief and Cortana is so fantastic in the way that it has changed over the years, because it's very much, like he cares about her, she cares about him. They protect each other. They're a fantastic team. And what happens when that is fractured and destroyed, and that trust is no longer intact?
Yeah, and for me, what you're talking about is exactly what I think is at the heart of Halo 4, which is the reason I love Halo 4's story so much, is because it is about them. And it's such a personal Master Chief story, and his, in his relationship with her, and how, when she's lost, and he's just out there looking for her. And I always thought Halo 4's campaign never got enough credit. But the reason I brought up Halo 5 is to say that I wonder if this Easter egg, this voice sample from Cortana, is our first sort of suggestion that 343 is putting in some serious work into kind of undoing the badness of Halo 5 story, and to put us back on a really cool, Halo 1 through 4 kind of level of the story.
I think they know that it's like Call of Duty, most people play it for like the multiplayer and those type of games. Like, it's like multiplayer centric, and it's like with Halo 5, they know that they have this, like, it's like kind of the opposite, where it's like so many people play those campaigns that they can't just sleep on it and make a really good multiplayer. Because Halo Infinite,
the multiplayer is excellent in 5.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. It's we've
And I think I think Infinite will be the same way. I think it'll have a really good multiplayer, but there's like they know that they have to like make a really, really good single player. People expect it. Where it's like with Call of Duty, you're just kind of like, okay, this is a fine single player.
Yeah, it's you hit on a really good point, Mark. I feel like I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast before, but I know we've talked about it in the office where I feel like Halo is the last major first-person shooter franchise where fans care as much about they're as invested in the campaign as they are in the multiplayer, because you name a big first-person shooter series that's been going for a little while, and people tend to
Medal of Honor.
That's still around, Destin. That's still around. But even that, okay, most people cared about the campaign, I would say, in Medal of Honor. It was never a huge multiplayer series. But yeah, it tends to be one or the other, and that's part of what I think the reason Halo has always been so beloved, even if people don't consciously realize it, is that they are super invested. We are super invested and care about both, which is why 5 was such a tremendous letdown. And I think 4 was a letdown for a lot of people in the multiplayer department. So they kind of switched. 4, was maybe a multiplayer letdown. 5 was definitely a campaign letdown. So yeah, I hope you're right, Mark. I hope Infinite can bring both back up to legendary standards.
I think it helps that, obviously every Halo story is just, it's just a sequel to the one before it, where something like Call of Duty or Battlefield 1, it's like every campaign is just kind of its own thing.
Right.
Like Call of Duty has like sequels, but Black Ops 3 is a continuation of Black Ops 2, but that was 3 years ago.
It's like a serialized television show.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like just every year the campaigns, and a lot of those campaigns are like World War II is just a standalone start to finish story.
Yeah.
Where with Halo, it's been going since the original Xbox. That story is still being told with these new games. Because they don't come out very often, you want it to be good.
Yeah. So very cool Easter egg. Hat tip to
stoked for Infinite. I want to go watch our movie for Halo 5 again because, like the gameplay portions of Halo 5 are totally fine.
Oh, sure, it plays great.
It's just the story, and I kind of want to remember where that left off because I know, who was the other Spartan voiced by the famous voice actor?
Well, no, they recast him. Remember,
but Nolan North played the character. God, what was his name?
Nolan
North. Fillion is in the game.
Oh, Nathan Fillion. Yeah, Nathan Fillion played. What's that character?
In
Spartan. He played.
in ODST. Yeah, Buck.
Well,
he's on Blue Team.
Yeah,
or not Blue Team. He's on Osiris.
Osiris. Yeah. And I was really curious with how he left off in Halo 5 because he seems really uninterested in what Locke was chasing after, and Locke sort of kind of seems to be coming a little bit more over to Master Chief's side. It seems like they fall into a more of a gray area where that story left off, and I would like to just get a refresher and watch the movie again over on IGN that we made back in the day.
Just stitching together all the cutscenes.
Yeah, that's what we do. I've been watching more of those to get a refresher of what happened in the game, and I'll skip parts that are filler,
Yeah, I mean, you're forgiven for doing so because it's been 4 years now since 5, and by the time
I played
Infinite
through that
ships,
campaign 4 times, so yeah.
And Infinite will probably come out next year.
I mean, it's
so then it's
day one with the Scarlet, so it'll be 5 years. 5 years between 5 and Infinite. So. All right, we'll be keeping our close eye, of course, on all things Halo. Now, speaking of Cortana, the Xbox dashboard is getting another refresh, but this time Cortana will not be coming along for the ride.
Speaking of breakups, the Xbox dashboard is also breaking up with Cortana.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense, right? Like, Kinect gone. There's no sort of simple built-in way to do the voice stuff. So Microsoft explained that the company intends to shift voice assistant elements, if I can speak, my goodness, away from on console and into the cloud. That means that while you can still use voice commands to control your console, you'll talk to Cortana via a smart device, such as an Alexa product with the Cortana skill, or a mobile device with an app, rather than your Xbox headset, or obviously you're not going to be hooking up a Kinect at this point. In addition to the changes in Cortana functionality, the twist elements from the top of the screen have been removed and replaced with a row of shortcuts to games. There's also more room for recently played game tiles to appear. Microsoft explains that the redesigned home screen is all in aid of creating a, quote, seamless experience for you to navigate your console. The new design will be available this week to insider members who are part of the Alpha and Alpha Skip Ahead rings.
Some of our listeners have gotten this already, and they've tweeted at me saying, I am stoked for this dashboard.
Excellent. I love hearing that feedback already, and it will roll out to all users in the fall. Now, I'm old enough, Destin, to remember back when the 360 dashboard updates, when those updates just came twice a year. There was the fall update and the spring update, and they bundled a ton of new features and oftentimes a new look into each one. Now we're so lucky we get more, smaller iterative updates very frequently, and then every now and again something like this where it's a full, interface redesign.
I kind of like where the dashboard's at. It's still laggy for me, even with the X. My biggest piece of feedback for the Xbox team, if they are listening, when I go to buy a game, it brings up a full black screen, and then the ESRB logo plays because they throw a trailer at you.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying because it lags out, and I'm like, I just want to buy this. I'm already sold. You don't need to show the trailer. And then you got to kind of scroll down. I feel like that interface is a little clunky. It would be great if the trailer played in the corner and I could still access the buttons and such. And if I want to watch that trailer in full screen, I'm given that choice. Anytime Windows does this a lot too, it's just a general Windows thing. It'll take control away from you. Like Mark, when you open Premiere and you're in Chrome or something, and you're like, type, Premiere opens.
Oh, right.
Your keyboard's now in Premiere. It's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't take control away from the user.
Yeah.
That's
good feedback. I mean, that's definitely.
We've had stuff like that on our own website where it's like videos would autoplay, and it's like, where's that sound coming from? And why am I lagging? What's happening?
Yeah. So we have internal conversations about that, and then we're like, how can we implement this better? We start the muted.
But it's fair too to, again, we're in summer of 2019, so we're coming up on 6 years since the Xbox One launched. A tip of the hat must be given to the Xbox team that is responsible for the dashboard, because, again, if you've been listening to us for a while and or you've been an Xbox fan for a while, you may remember what the dashboard was like when the console launched in November of 2013. It was not great. It really, and we talked about it on the podcast, it felt like a step backwards. It was slower. Literally everything was an app, even achievements. So when an achievement popped and you wanted to look at it, it would basically take you out of your game and launch into the app, the achievements app. Supremely annoying. It was horrible. It was also slow because it was pinging a server for everything it did. There was like a DNS workaround where if you changed your DNS to a Google DNS, it would speed it up a little bit, but it was just not a great experience, especially coming off of 360.
It looked like they tried to mimic the 361, not the blades, but the most recent 361. If you go back and look, it kind of looks like that, but with just too much going on.
Yeah. Fran Mirabella did the review for the launch Xbox.
Oh, I remember that.
And I did a dashboard tour of it. I did all these Xbox videos for launch. I was super stoked for the launch.
Oh yeah, I remember you filled up the hard drive to see how many games could fit on it. I remember you doing that.
We did all these.
Oh my god, we can do that now, but it would be like Red Dead and beautiful.
Really fun. Did it? Oh my god, it launched in 2013.
That's what I said.
November 2013.
I was looking for.
No, I know you were looking
dashboard.
that up.
Yeah.
November 22nd.
Like that. You're looking at some
well, I can tell you when our review came out. November 27th.
Yeah, we got it up quickly.
Fran Mirabella the third.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dash.
But
so it was a bunch of squares at launch, like Windows tablets, basically.
Hey, show me real quick. I know our listeners can't see it, but just refresh my memory.
It's hard to get there.
It's great radio. Oh yeah. Oh, that's my console.
Yeah,
yeah.
We probably used your console because we got one. Right?
Yeah, because it was in my possession. But yep, it has come a long way.
Yeah, I watched that video yesterday. Yeah,
it was the Metro thing. That was
the thing
the Windows Metro.
That's what Windows 10. When Windows 10 first came out, that's what it was just tiles.
Well, and that was part of the problem was they thought well, we'll just unify this, but it's
Yep.
like, well, in reality, Metro doesn't work well on a console.
Well, and even with Windows 10, they're like, okay, people want a start bar. They don't want this because remember, back in those days,
Yeah.
it was you hit the Windows key and all those tiles.
That's
came up.
right.
I barely even remember
That's
that now. And now the tiles are in the start menu, but now even those are kind of gone.
So point is to say the Xbox
In a better spot.
app team, they've brought it a long, long way in that time, and this new update here looks, Cortana free though it may be, it's faster, it's cleaner. There's a lot to like about it for so far.
I would say there has never been an update that made it worse. It's always
Other
been
than
better.
the 360 to Xbox One.
Well,
the
okay.
launch Xbox One from the most updated 360.
Xbox One it's only gotten better since launch.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're absolutely right about
I wonder
that.
what like PS5 is going to look like. Only because PS4 still has the exact same.
Yeah,
dashboard.
they have not evolved.
They're like here's some you can do folders and you can do stuff like that. But there's been no like. It still looks the same.
And I wonder if Scarlet's going to change. I think Scarlet would keep it. Like, I don't think they'll evolve too much. Or maybe we'll get a new version of the dashboard that we've been familiar with.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because of the blurring of console generational lines, particularly on the Microsoft side. If they'll really have if it'll just be the exact same dashboard.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And I
it
think
wouldn't
PS5
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if I turned on PlayStation 5 or Scarlet and it's just the exact same dashboard.
Yeah, because PS5
they
is also using backwards
because
compatibility.
they're all backwards compatible. So it's
True.
like it's almost like they don't, except for the hardware upgrades, they don't want you feeling like you're on something. Like I don't know. It's very strange.
I'm gonna lay down a small lunch wager if anyone wants to take it.
Yes.
All right.
I
I
just
do.
want
So
lunch.
hungry.
I think Scarlet will have a different interface than Xbox One because I think you're buying a $500 new console. I think Microsoft will want it to feel new and different and fresh. So I think they'll have something new.
It could just emulate the old one. Yeah, I'll go with no then. Just
Okay, good.
no
All
matter
right.
what we get left.
Either way, we're getting some In-N-Out
Yeah.
burger, but I look forward to Destin buying in about a year and less than a year and a half, like a year and
I've never been to the In-N-Out here.
what?
Really?
Like I've never. No one's ever taken me.
Oh, and
Mark,
look,
Mark, can you eat that much?
Not really. That's besides the point.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark's on a diet restriction, so
Yeah, whether a physical one, whether I want to be or not.
right. But we can still go.
That's true.
We can still
That's true.
do that.
I
do
can
it.
eat some
All right.
French fries.
Get them well done. That's my pro
whatever
tip.
I'll help you out, Mark. I got you covered, buddy.
I haven't been to In-N-Out in a long, long time. There's
We
one-
went once.
Yeah,
We
that's
went.
the last time I went was with you in San Ramon or something like that, like 4 years ago.
We did the In-N-Out Krispy Kreme double dip.
Oh
Yes.
man,
Yeah.
that's
Oh yeah, because that was in Concord. Because
Yeah.
the In-N-Out is right next to the Krispy Kreme, and the
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme light was on.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's-
I'm like,
now we gotta go.
so is the closest one to us is the same thing. It's Krispy Kreme, the one in Daly City.
Daly City. Oh, okay.
I've
Yes,
heard-
that's the one I've never been to.
I've heard rumors that if you get Krispy Kreme, they will make a hamburger with Krispy Kreme donuts at In-N-Out.
Oh
That's
my
so
goodness!
weird.
I don't.
Someone will
no,
have to confirm.
I don't need that in my life. That's too much. That's too much. All right. Anyway, let's move on from BurgerCast here to Blair Witch.
Yeah.
From burgers to witches. Gameplay of Blair Witch has finally been shown. I think we've kind of mentioned this here and there since its announcement at E3, but this was a surprise at E3. Oh, there's a Blair Witch game. It's Bloober Team, who has a good history, pretty good track record. But and the game was announced at E3, so in mid-June for an August 30th release date. That's quick.
Very fast.
They didn't show it at E3. They weren't showing it behind closed doors or on the show floor. But now they've finally started to crack open the safe a little bit and give people a peek inside. A gameplay trailer has been released confirming a few things. Number one, it's totally set in the 90s. I love the 90s aesthetic. If you watch the gampplay trailer on IGN or our YouTube page, you can see there's a Nokia 5100 style cell phone with just just the super basic, just the bars on the left and right side for your signal and your battery life. And it took me back to my very first cell phone.
The 90s.
Yeah. So that looks cool. And then it is a first-person game. Some people replied to my tweet about that, and they're like, well, yeah, the trailer was in first person. Sort of. The trailer kind of cut back and forth between some third-person stuff with the dog.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were going to use the Outlast camera with the camera. You know, kept bringing that up. Like, how is that going to function with the whole thing? And we kind of got our answer with this gameplay trailer.
So it is all first person. It uses found footage stuff in there, camcorder stuff. And I really liked the fact that there not only is, so your dog's name is Bullet, and you can give him, there's a command wheel for Bullet. So you can tell him to come back to you. You can tell him to go check stuff out. There are 5 commands for Bullet. So this is I'm not normally a big scary game guy, but it's got a cool German Shepherd in it. I think I have to play it.
He's either dog meat from Fallout, like think that control wheel, or the dog from Fable, basically, right? Like, hey, go dig up treasure.
Yeah, I think the Fable dog only had maybe 2 commands. Yeah. I think there was just heal, just come back to you, and kind of go out, and you could have him.
I thought he could
dig up stuff. Yeah, he could go sniff stuff out. But
so the dog brings you tapes that it finds, which is totally realistic.
Oh, it's so scary.
Go find the tape, boy. Yeah.
But yeah, another one like Control. So this game is out in exactly 1 month from today, August 30th. Today is July 30th. So it will not be long, and I hope it turns out well. The gameplay trailer gave me some optimism, but we have yet to play it. So we shall see. Next, this one's near and dear to my heart. Doom. The original Doom is my desert island game. Gun to my head, Ryan, you got one game for the rest of your life. What is it? It's the original Doom. I've played it 1,000,000 times. I could play it 1,000,000 more. It's so brilliantly designed. Doom invented deathmatch, and I think Doom deathmatch is still fun. I have a blast with it whenever I get a chance.
I saw you tweet that you downloaded it immediately.
Oh yeah, so there was QuakeCon happened this past week, and there wasn't really a lot of news out of it per se, other than this. Bethesda is making a big deal out of Doom this year, not only because Doom Eternal is out in November, but because this is the 25th anniversary year of the original Doom, which came out in December of 1993. So we're sort of just finishing that window of 25 years officially. And yeah, they went ahead and re-released Doom 1, 2, and 3 on all platforms, including Xbox One. One of those platforms was Switch. So I went ahead and bought Doom 1 and 2 on Switch so that I could have them easily and portably anywhere I went with actual buttons and controls as opposed to a mobile phone. So I was more than happy to do that. $5 just felt like a fair price. More than that, I would have been like, I don't think I'm going to pay $20 for Doom 1 and 2, but that's 10 for both of them. Okay, 5 each.
That's like what you would pay if you got them on your phone.
Yeah, pretty much. So it is. They did also re-release it for Xbox One. Doom 1 and 2 had been out, and then Doom 3, I think, did have a remaster some point along the way anyway.
That was the Xbox
on 360,
OG.
yeah.
Was it 360?
Yeah.
I think they had an OG version and a 360 version. Or no, Doom. You're talking Doom 3. I'm talking
Doom 3, yeah.
Doom, when they brought it back in the day. And they had the steel case, and it was all graphically intensive. It was a good game to test out your graphics card.
Oh, you mean the most recent Doom? Or
no.
Which one are we talking about? Because there was Doom 3 was from 2003 or 4.
Yeah,
and then Doom 2016.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Doom 3 then. I think they had a standard Xbox version.
You're right about that.
And a 360 version.
Yeah, it was a really excellent port to the original Xbox. It retained a lot of, because that Doom 3 at the time was a very technically intensive. It was a powerful game. It was tech-wise.
That game and Crysis were what you threw in your PC to test it out. Can it handle the shadows? Can it handle all these lighting effects?
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all Doom 1, 2, and 3 are out on Xbox One now.
So that must be great. You just you boot it up on your Switch and you just play.
Yeah.
Or do you?
Setting you up.
There is, thank you. So the nostalgia party had the punch bowl spiked. just an unforced error here by Bethesda.
Who wrote that for you?
You think the show has writers? God, if I could get Brian and Max to write Unlocked for me, it'd be so good. But no, that's
Nostalgia Party had its punch bowl spiked.
Did you go?
You're stuck with me. I like you. You can stay. No, it's so you got a 25-year-old game in the form of the original Doom, and to play Doom, a 25-year-old game again. I want to reiterate how old this game is and how many it's been on like almost literally every platform ever.
That's if you're not talking about Skyrim, you're talking about Doom.
Yeah,
the fact that Doom is on everything.
Everything. So for whatever reason, Bethesda said, well, we're going to require a Bethesda net login for this, so that it's on a 25-year-old game. It's just get out of town, guys. It's silly. I mean, the internet was obviously not happy, and I don't blame them. I mean, for me, I remember so when I downloaded it and that came up unexpectedly, I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't really want to give you my email address. And I just I was trying to like B button my way through it.
Skip
button. Skip, just get out of this. And then it just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, fine, just have my email, whatever. You're just going to market to me. You already do that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, I was annoyed, but otherwise, whatever, I put it in. But yeah, I mean,
I got to throw the red key card at them on this one.
Oh, yes. This is good. This is a good episode.
No, for real. How does this get past like QA?
It's tough.
But it's not even a QA thing.
Yeah.
It's a design thing. It's a whoever's running this project thinking like that people aren't going to be annoyed by that.
Yeah, it's Doom, you guys. Like,
right.
Come on. OG StarCraft, like they just let you play it basically.
Yeah. So
well, actually, don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Bethesda did tweak it. They said the Bethesda Net login requirement was included for the Slayers Club to reward members for playing the classic Doom games. The login should be optional, and we are working on changing the requirement to be optional now. We will update everyone when a fix is ready.
Darn right, it should be. Red key card, right?
It's one of those things where it's like on PC you already got to deal with that, having a million different launchers for every little thing. But I remember, I think it was Assassin's Creed 4 was one of the first times that I can remember putting a game in a console and it being like, sign into your Uplay account. I'm like, no, thank you. Because that was a game that it's very strange that every time you finished a mission, it wanted you to rate that mission. Did you enjoy this mission?
That's right.
Send your feedback. And I'm like all I did was kill a guy. Like, get away from me with this. And so it's really tough to like log into something. But most of that stuff is optional. You log into Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it's like, you play. You're like, nope. So then, to have Switch be like, you need to log into your... I'm like, no, that's weird.
Or any console. They re-released it for everything, but
roadblocks like that hurt me plenty.
Yes,
that's also from the Doom game.
Yeah, they get it.
Mark gets it.
That's the medium difficulty mode.
That's right. That's if you're playing on a lower difficulty than that, no, get out.
Yep. Have you seen the Wolfenstein when you're picking your difficulty? If you the more you go, like he gets all like BJ Blazkowicz gets all like tough, but if you go to the more like easier mode, he gets like a pacifier.
Oh, that's good. I like that. So I have no intention of rebuying on Xbox One because I'd rather have them portably on the Switch.
I have it on the 360 already, so I think it works on the
I think
one.
I have it.
You do, but when Bethesda dropped this re-release, some people checked that owned it on 360. Because it's backwards compatible. Doom 1 and 2. 3 didn't really, but Doom 1 and 2 were backward compatible. They released as Xbox Live Arcade games, which made me very happy back in the 360 days. But people found that it was accidentally delisted. So it really made Bethesda look extra bad because
then it was like, you
have
taking
to,
away the old ones,
right? So you have to buy it again.
Yeah.
on
not
Xbox
great.
One. But
You know what else was delisted? The Ultimate Alliance games.
Were they?
Oh.
Those were available on Steam and Xbox.
Well,
and they're
that-
gone now.
that
because
might
of
be-
Ultimate
that's part of
Alliance
that
3.
Activision
yeah,
thing.
that's I think a
Where
licensing
'cause
issue.
You can't get any like the Wolverine game. People like the old
Raven
the
made that.
old Origins, the old Spider-Man games.
Like Shattered Dimensions. That's an Activision.
I think all those
published
and
by
and
Beanox,
like
I
and
think.
like the movie
Yeah.
tie-ins, the Amazing Spider-Man. That
right.
people actually kind of like those games. Those
Yeah.
games were actually decent. Like you just cannot find them. I think it happened with a lot of Sonic games too, for a different type of deal, where it's like really hard to find certain Sonic.
Yeah,
games.
that there's maybe a decent reason for. This, there was not. So our IGN news team reached out to Bethesda after people started complaining, rightfully so, on forums.
Jonathan Normer said, "What up with this, bro?
Yeah, basically.
And Todd Howard was like,
What's up, man?"
I don't think it was Todd, but Bethesda told us players who own and previously installed the Xbox 360 Live Arcade backward compatible version of the games on Xbox One will still find those games in their game library and will be able to reinstall that version of the game. There was an error with this functionality, but we expect it to be remedied very quickly. And in fact, by the time any of you hear this, in fact, I think at the time I'm reading this now, I think it was supposed to have, Bethesda said it was like they would fix it within the hour.
Quote Todd Howard. Not actually Todd Howard.
Not actually Todd Howard, but so yeah, a couple of just self-inflicted wounds there for Bethesda on what should have been a really nice little stealth surprise re-release for Doom on all the platforms, but they got through it.
They sorted it out.
They got through it. It's fine now. Yeah, I'm happy to have it on the Switch, and I'm happy that as long as I own an Xbox, one now and Scarlet later, that I'll still be able to just have those live arcade versions from the 360 available to me to jump into anytime I want. All right, my friends, why don't we do the loot box right now? All right, my friends, shall we do the loot box? This is a good one.
Hit me.
So, let's see, because what do we got? We've got about 14 minutes before we're getting thrown out for another shoot.
Yeah, we can close.
Should be good
We
timing
started
here.
a little early.
Daniel Wood, whose gamer tag is DanTheMan485 from Lincoln, California, says, my loot box question stems from the way marketing for game consoles seems to have changed in recent years. I believe the original Xbox, certainly the 360, and even the Xbox One were all designed and touted as not just a gaming machine, but as a way for Microsoft to own the living room of consumers. Phil Spencer has certainly moved the brand away from that messaging, but all platforms have continued to expand their offering with streaming apps and build out their digital marketplaces. And with smart TVs now standard in other devices like Roku, Fire Stick, Chromecast, Apple TV, there are a lot more options besides game consoles now. But with the advent of game streaming like Stadia and the coming quote-unquote war with Disney Plus and other streaming providers entering the market, it seems like it's becoming a more relevant strategy again. So Daniel's question for us here is, I think it's an interesting one. Has the goal of owning the living room for Microsoft and PlayStation become a pointless one? Or is it still the ultimate achievement to pursue? Thanks for the great podcast. Well, thanks for the great question, Daniel.
I think it is a passive benefit to the Xbox One X, especially 4K, pure,
Yes.
the best 4K console on the market. It can have all those streaming services on the
YouTube,
console as an app.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix,
Hulu.
and you can utilize the 4K services
HBO,
there
yeah.
as a separate service. It actually has the player for 4K UHD discs.
Yep.
Watched Planet Earth many times on my Xbox One X, and it is great. So I think a passive benefit of owning the console, and this is evaluated by consumers, right? They're like, okay, I want these things. And Xbox checks a lot of those boxes if they're looking for something beyond just the gaming services. But the best thing that Xbox has done is the Game Pass system. They have created their own version of one of these digital apps that our listener is discussing right now with Game Pass. And Sony's PlayStation Now doesn't cut the mustard right now. They need to figure out a better pricing model or something with that, because right now it's not. The last time I used it, it's way too expensive. It still doesn't run that great. And Xbox
When you
just
still
cracked
can't
the code.
download.
Yeah, you
Like,
stream them.
there's
right?
not. Well, so some that I forget what it is. It's I think PS4, PS2, and PS1 you can download those now.
Yeah.
But like every PS3 game, which is their big, because that's the thing. That's what they try to push for, is that it's like Game Pass is like 100 and something games.
Yeah.
PlayStation Now is like 1,000 games. But yeah, I think everything on PlayStation 3 you still have to stream those. But yeah, it's also super expensive.
But yeah, I kind of, Daniel's right. The whole own the living room thing was that was like the original sort of goal of the entire Xbox initiative at Microsoft.
And I think they were a little ahead of their time.
Yeah, they were on their way with the 360, and then they tried to bite off more than they could chew with the Xbox One. And I think but Daniel's right. Like now, with all these other services and devices that have sort of permeated everyone's lives and are all, everybody owns probably at least one or two of those, that the game consoles and the game console buying public now I feel like doesn't really want that, and everything's so targeted now. So everything's so specialized. Like, you go to IGN for your game news, and you might use the YouTube app for watching all your videos
bird
online.
videos.
Yeah. I mean, and for your game console, you just want you want a gaming box. You don't want a box that's watered down, that does, that's designed to do everything. I mean, it's great that Xbox has sort of added those services, but that was the whole failure of a big part of the failure of the Xbox One originally was it tried to be that all-in-one solution to everyone, and people weren't really interested in that.
I think it's just about marketing. Like I think everyone knows that stuff is there, and I think they're thinking, okay, we don't have to push that Netflix is on Xbox or PS4 or anything, because
It's on
everyone knows it's there. Netflix is on everything. We're gonna double down on talking about what games we have coming out. Yeah, because I don't know, it's tough. Like, I know that Xbox would prefer that I turn on my Xbox to watch Netflix, because then you're in the ecosystem. But it is really tough. He mentions about like TVs, and it's true. My TV has a remote that has a Netflix button on the remote. I turn on my TV and I click Netflix.
This is a Samsung television, much like the one I have at home. We have tons of Samsungs here at IGN. I love this TV series, and it has every app that you could think of, basically.
And they're on the remote. You don't even have to click like you boot up a console and then you have to go to the app. I turn my TV on and there's a Netflix button. There's a Hulu and a Prime button.
And a YouTube button.
Hulu and a YouTube button. Yeah. You don't even have to go. There is an apps page, but I've only been to it like once on my TV because I just click Netflix and I'm there.
Couldn't be easier.
Couldn't be easier.
Couldn't be easier. So, yep, I think for sure the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet are going to be capable of all that stuff, obviously. But they are going to be.
You'll see Disney Plus on there. You'll see everything on there.
But they're going to be purpose-built gaming devices, just as the Xbox One X is. We'll see that continue. So great stuff from Daniel. If you've got a loot box question, send it in, unlocked@ign.com for the panel to discuss. All right, Unlocked Block trivia now.
I really like that jingle.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I was going to lean over and whisper it.
I wouldn't know.
I like that.
I'm not wearing headphones.
That's fan made. I don't have the person's name in front of me, but yeah, that was.
Mark freaks out when the songs are playing because he doesn't have headphones on. He's like, "Is everything? Are you guys okay?"
I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself.
All right, Ian Francis writes in and asks. Glad we were talking about Halo today, because Ian asks about it. In the lead up to Halo 5, Microsoft and 343 published an in-universe podcast called Hunt the Truth, which was tremendous, by the way.
Excellent.
It's better than the game as far as the story goes.
The narrative was excellent, yeah.
Following journalist Benjamin Gerard on his search for the truth behind the origins of the Master Chief and the Spartan 2 program. On one of the episodes, it was revealed that one of the Halo games' cover art is actually an in-universe photograph of the Master Chief during the Human Covenant War? Which Halo game's cover art was canonized in the Hunt the Truth podcast? This is an excellent question. I did happen to remember this. Let's see if you guys can as well. Was it Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, or Halo Reach? Which of those games, if you can picture the box art, is now sort of officially deemed in Halo canon as a photograph that was actually taken during Master Chief's adventures? Any idea, Mark?
No, I'm going to say Halo 2 because I remember that box art is very like he's in war kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Halo 2, but I don't know.
All right. Destin?
He's not on the cover of Halo Reach, so that one's out. Halo Combat Evolved looks super.
It's just him just standing there. Yeah,
it's him with the ring behind him. I'm like, that's not a photograph. I don't remember the cover for Halo 3.
Well, Halo 3 is
it's like he's standing
just
there,
him just like standing there
Cortana
looking
with the
off
cavern.
in the distance.
Yeah. I'm going to say Halo 2. It's very posy. He is on Earth, like in the timeline
He's
there.
dual wielding guns.
Yeah, he's
just so you
dual-wielding
know that
guns.
there's dual wielding in Halo 2.
Yeah.
All right, so both of you are going with Halo 2, and both of you are exactly correct. Well done, gentlemen. Yes, Halo 2. That we all remembered that.
I just
one.
remember that looks like a war-torn photo. So
Yes.
Also,
posing up with the dual wielded.
how do you do it?
wielded,
Ryan? How do you do it?
SMG.
Show us again on the video.
Yeah, you gotta like this.
Pew, pew.
Like this.
I remember it was a big deal because they're like, yeah, there's dual wielding in this game. We put it on the cover.
That's right. So, Ian, you couldn't stump us, but a great question nevertheless.
Thanks for the
And
point.
if anybody out there has an Xbox trivia question they do want to try and stump the panel with, please send it in. Again, unlocked@ign.com is the email address. Please include 4 multiple choice answers and note the correct one in your email. That will wrap it up for Unlocked 404, Podcast Not Found.
True.
Thank
Palindrome.
you, Mark. Also a palindrome.
Nice.
Good note.
call out.
This episode's got it all.
I know it's got everything but entertainment or usefulness. It doesn't have those. You're asking me to do too much with run everything. No, it'll be fine. We'll get there. The only big screw up I've made so far is I accidentally touched the Beyond logo
Nope,
for
didn't
like
happen.
half a second.
Didn't happen.
But hopefully it didn't even make it to the screen
I don't
in
think
any
it
way,
did.
shape, or form. So we they're
There's an
next to each
Easter
other.
egg.
Yeah, go find that QR code. Anyway, Mark Medina,
Yeah.
anything you want to promote or point our fans to?
No,
That you're
I
working
don't.
on?
I'm not going to plug anything, but I do want to take just a second. I asked on Twitter yesterday for people to send me a short story of how gaming has impacted you.
Oh, cool.
In a positive way.
Great.
I got a bunch, so I'm going to read 3 quick ones.
Okay.
This is Tommy Ayers. That's at Nightwing593. He says, video games, especially Destiny, has helped me greatly. A few years back, I had a lot of anxiety issues, but the friends I met playing Destiny and the super helpful community helped me get out of a really dark place and made friends that I still keep in touch with to this day.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I like
is
that story because
fantastic.
I have friends. There was a guy who came to my wedding that I met on World of Warcraft.
Nice.
That's
Like,
great.
he's super cool. This is at Jesse T127. I develop a love for graphic design and Photoshop thanks to NASCAR 1999
Okay.
and NASCAR 2003.
That would have probably been when Papyrus was developing it, and it was a super hardcore, like really detailed and awesome simulation game.
Yeah, he said he played it on PC where
Yeah.
I'd spend entire days and weeks designing race car paint schemes.
Yeah.
Now I'm a self-taught digital artist thanks
That's
to
great.
this, where it's even led to a new passion for photography.
Oh, I love that. I mean, that's before Forza was doing their liveries, where people do crazy paint jobs and stuff like that at Forza now. But that's
Well, I'm assuming
that's
you can
really
zoom
cool.
in and make
Oh, yeah.
crazy designs.
Yeah,
and do all
it would really help to have a mouse and a keyboard on
Right,
nice,
right.
precise tools on a PC.
I like that it was like 1999 and 2003. I don't know if he meant from that era to that era,
Probably.
or if it was
Yeah,
just
probably
like
in that
those
window.
2 games.
Oh, that's
And then,
great.
Last one here is at Platinum Penguin.
Yeah,
on
I know
Twitter.
that. I think that person follows me. I
He
recognize
said,
that
I don't
name.
have a fancy way of saying it, but online gaming has allowed me to keep in touch with my best bro, where we probably wouldn't have an opportunity to talk, because in my experience, I don't really like talking on the phone and stuff. who does? Games have allowed us to keep connected even though we live in different cities. And that one hit home because we have a friend we met through IGN. He used to come on our live streams all the time. His name is Potato King. He lives in Eastern Canada. And we talk to each other all the time now because we play Fallout. Yeah, we play Fallout. We play Call of Duty together. And it's like otherwise, because now he's like in college and he doesn't get a chance to, and we don't live stream as much, but it's like I still keep in contact with him at least a few times a week.
That's great.
We play a lot of games together.
That is fantastic.
Isn't it funny how we react to being called today?
Right.
It's like, you didn't text me first? Are you a monster?
You monster.
What are you doing?
The only calls I ever get are spam calls.
Oh, I just got one while I was...
Yeah, I saw it coming.
Spam alert.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to read these, someone from Chowchilla, California thought they needed to call me.
I don't think you know anyone from there.
I don't. Super don't.
No disrespect to anybody that lives there. But anyway.
So thanks for sending those in.
Yeah,
guys.
those are great.
That's great.
Well,
I don't mean to bring up the competition as I do my personal call-outs, but if you like birds... check out Instagram.com/DestinRL. I've been working on my bird photography. It's what I do to chill after work. I'm near Golden Gate Park, and I love going to the park and taking photos of birds. I have found it incredibly relaxing and really, really fun.
And your stuff's getting really good, too.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm starting to know what I'm doing with photography. It's great.
I love that. That's fantastic.
So neither me nor Destin created any content this week. We're just talking about other stuff. It's great.
If you want to know where all the GTA cards are, I assigned Carter to capture them all and did brief narration.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. Unfiltered. Hopefully I'll remember to put it at the end of this episode. But if I don't, please go check it out. If you like, most Xbox fans not named Alana Pierce like Alan Wake. Still love you, Alana. You're the best. We had a really good conversation with Sam about his career, and yes, Alan Wake 2 did come up, and I think you'll like what Sam has to say about it. So do check that out. Otherwise,
that's it.
Can't think of anything else going on. So I will not be here next week, but then I will be back forever. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon after that, but I leave you in good hands with these guys, and hopefully Miranda and Brandon will be back next week as well.
Let us know on Twitter who you want to host.
So I don't know if we want to open that up.
Oh yeah, we do.
Popularity contest.
Peppers will win.
The dog will win.
I would watch that. I actually would watch that. You're right.
I would watch that.
You got me. You totally got me. For Mark Medina and Destin Legary, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. This was Unlocked, episode 404, and we'll see you next week.